There are corners of Texas where towns didn't fade slowly. They just vanished. But the warnings stayed. Welcome to the side of Texas nobody talks about. Places locals won't drive through. These aren't tourist traps. They're real towns where something broke. Disasters, violence, isolation so heavy, people say just keep driving. Today we're counting down 10 of Texas's creepiest towns. The scariest places aren't empty, they're avoided. Hit subscribe because knowing where not to go might save your trip. Let's start. 10. Indianola. Indianola didn't gradually disappear. Hurricanes erased it. Mid-1800s it had everything. Railroads, trade, momentum. Then 1875 hit. Hurricane demolished everything. Survivors rebuilt. 11 years later, worse hurricane. Storm surge, fires, contaminated wells. That broke them. Current population, 0. Housing doesn't exist. Survivors deliberately abandoned it, deciding rebuilding was insane. Texas erased Indianola until it became a warning. One user said, "It's not haunted, it's intentionally empty." Texas hurricanes are performance reviews. Failed twice, you're fired permanently. 9. Toya's unsettling because nothing happens anymore and nobody cares. Officially a town, practically forgotten. Flourished early 1900s with railroads. Then rails left. Jobs followed. People didn't. Population around 100. Income way below average. Crime isn't the problem, isolation is. Long drives for groceries, longer for anything else. One local joked, "Toya works if you don't need friends or reasons to leave." Funny until realizing they weren't joking. West Texas silence feels peaceful until day 3 when it's just emptiness. 8. Lajitas. Lajitas elected a goat mayor, and that might have been their best decision. Sounds amazing. Desert village, Big Bend views, luxury resort. Then you stay past weekend. Population 50 to 75. Nearly died after mines closed. Revived as resort. Reality. Doesn't feel like a town. Feels like controlled environment. Jobs, tourism only. Housing, resort owned. Cost, deceptively high. Hospital over an hour away. The goat mayor was real. 1980s beer-drinking goat named Clay Henry. But government's always been symbolic, overshadowed by private control. Jobs vanish off-season. When tourists leave, quiet isn't calming, it's deafening. Nearest Walmart, 90 minutes. Beautiful until realizing you haven't spoken to anyone in days. 7. Rangerville. Rangerville looks like nothing, and that's why people don't talk about it. Unincorporated, between temple and farmland. No mayor, no council, just county oversight. Population under 100. Response times longer. Incidents don't make headlines in places this small. No website, no budget. Transparency's optional. No city hall, no elections, no accountability. Disputes handled quietly, or not at all. A local said, "Rangerville isn't dangerous. It's where things disappear." Vague on purpose. Temple 10 minutes away has everything. Rangerville, same county. Different universe. 6. Thurber had electric lights, running water, opera house. Then the company left. Late 1800s coal mining company town. Peak 8,000 residents. Today, 0. Housing dismantled. Thurber didn't decline naturally. It was systematically dismantled when coal demand dropped. Company owned everything. When operations shut down, just eviction notices. Families lost jobs, identity, reasons to stay. Company towns only love you while profitable. Thurber got abandoned because spreadsheets said so. 5. Adrian sits on Route 66 and feels like you shouldn't stop. Should be thriving. Historic highway. Nostalgia. But peaked decades ago never recovered. Population 150. Income below average. Jobs limited. Crime low, but so is everything. Tiny tax base, minimal services. Living here means watching cars pass to somewhere better. A local road. People wave because you're the only thing happening. Friendly and sad. Route 66 towns sell nostalgia. But nostalgia doesn't pay bills. You can't eat history. Connected to the world, just not included. 4. Saragossa. Saragossa wasn't abandoned because people stopped believing. Belief turned deadly. 1938, a religious leader convinced followers a miracle would protect them in church during a storm. It didn't. Building collapsed. Dozens died, never recovered. Population 0. Housing abandoned. Crime didn't kill it. Trust did. No structure to rebuild. Just grief and silence. People left memories they couldn't explain. A descendant said, "Not cursed, just heavy." Failed because people trusted the wrong voice. Can't rebuild confidence after that. 3. Val Verde. Val Verde's abandoned because people were never supposed to stay. Border outpost in harsh terrain. Existed because state needed eyes on land, not because families wanted roots. Once need faded, town did too. Population 0. Extreme climate, limited water. Housing decaying. Always managed, not governed. Decisions came from outside. When government stopped, needing it, didn't transition, just left. A relative wrote, "Felt temporary, even if your whole life was there. That's not development, that's disposable geography." 2. Allamore had a post office, school, future. Then water went bad. Deep West Texas. Railroad stop, gypsum plant, until water didn't work. Population single digits. Water undrinkable for years. Housing abandoned trailers. Services none. Unincorporated. No authority fighting for infrastructure. When water became unsafe, no government demanded fixes. Residents left fast. Can survive a lot in Texas. Bad water isn't one. Can't bootstrap clean water. Needed pipes, testing, someone to make noise. Nearest grocery 45 minutes. Reach for sink and hesitate. That pause means it's over. 1. Kent's creepy because it exists, and nobody knows why. Far West Texas, miles from help. Railroad stop that convinced people it could be a town. It couldn't. Population 0. Economic base none. Housing abandoned. Services none. Unincorporated. No council. No budget. Investment left decades ago. Wasn't rebuilt because no government needed it. No value. No case. A local said, "Doesn't feel abandoned. Feels crossed off a list." Colder than ghost stories. Towns don't fail because people didn't try. Kent failed because systems walked away. Can't bootstrap economy without water or jobs. Grit becomes denial. Pink desert sunrise, wind, calm that never breaks. Kent isn't haunted. It's what happens when everyone decides a place isn't worth effort anymore.